Awesome podcast. 5 stars. A great listen, especially if planning a trip to La La Land and Hollywood. So that's the customer review from Pomplove, the first rating and review on iTunes. That's right. Marc Roman Empire, also a podcast, is now on Apple Podcasts, which means you can listen on several other platforms as well that receive the Apple Jet Stream. Now, whether you listen via iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, or another podcast player, do this podcast a solid. Go to iTunes, go there right now, and rate and review Marc Roman Empire, also a podcast. Try the Maitlands, cute couple. Look nice and stupid, too. Hey, do you mind? I'm the talent here. I'm the ghost with the most, babe. And you told me that you could represent me? Jesus. No, they call me, never mind. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, Marc Roman Empire, also a podcast, on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Listen, rate, review, enjoy. You know where a guy, an everyday Joe like myself, can find a little action? Really? You're nobody till somebody loves you. Spreading the news like mayonnaise on toast. The policy of truth. Gary, I have a mission for you. Eastbound down, loading up and truck 'em. Flux capacitor, okay. But let me tell you about that time I drove a cab. Money that's something. Chicks that read, I want my Mark TV. First, you're not on TV. Podcast. Now, that is some weird and wild stuff. Did you know that, Ed? Yes! Oh, please don't drop me home, because it's not my home, it's their home, and I'm welcome no more. Well, Robin attended Juilliard. I attended Hillsdale. I'm a graduate of the San Francisco Comedy College. I've traveled the Midwest quite extensively. I lived through The Big Short and I had a pretty good time doing that. I've seen Pat Robertson jabber about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact you're talking to a subversive. So what do you think? Do you think I'm qualified?
Oh, well, I think we'll need to pray about that and ask your father.
Shut up, Marilyn! Just eat it. Just eat it. The Marc Roman Empire. Also a podcast. It's showtime. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. And that was my Markioki of Luck Be a Lady by Frank Sinatra. That's right. Chairman of the board. I can't believe I haven't done Markioki of Sinatra yet. We're almost at the 20th podcast here. But I attempted to do Suffer Well by Depeche Mode. And as much as I love that song, I'm not quite there yet. Even for the lowest of low standards that we have here on the Markioki. Oh, because Suffer Well. I mean, it's not like I didn't just watch the State of the Union, because I didn't watch it. I didn't. But anyway, moving right along. As Bill Burr likes to say all the time, plowing ahead. Hey, you guys been missing those stand-up comics? Yeah, me too. Well, today we got ourselves a comedian. Granison Crawford's on the podcast today. More on the guy who brought you Granavision in a moment. Oh, hi there. I'm Marc Roman. Marc who? Marc Roman. You know, like the Empire. My interview with Granison in a moment. We are at the world-famous Musicians Institute here in Hollywood. Oh, yeah. Yet again, on Hollywood Boulevard, carefully nestled between a Tom Cruise Scientology hostel and a bunch of former restaurants now available for lease. We are safely within stumbling distance of the legendary Pig and Whistle, as well as Jameson's Irish Pub, where everyone knows Lieutenant Frank's name. Ollie, as ever, on sound. I don't know why, Ollie, but I feel like you're going to become a bigger part of the episode today. I can't put my finger on it. Just, I don't know. You guys be the judge. See, let's see what happens. Okay, kids? See what happens. It might get crazy. I don't know. I'll tell you what's crazy. I actually went to the gym today. Yeah, I didn't even bother opening up my app to like figure out what exercises I was doing because I was just like, I'm doing 20 minutes of cardio at least. Let's just do that. Get out. Because I think I maybe worked out once last week. So I know you guys are like my audience or my accountability partner. That's what it is, because I can't deal with relationships, so I can deal with audiences. And for those of you listening, you're my accountability partner. Even though, you're doing your thing right now, you're probably in the gym right now listening to this as I tell you about how I need to go to the gym more often. So, see, I'm making you feel better about being you as I lament my shortcomings and faults in my life. You're welcome. Yeah. See, I'm giving you joy through my pain. Oh, yeah, that's what comedians do. Huh. Speaking of comedy, did you see the Super Bowl? Yeah, I think I had other stuff to do. Yeah, I was working. I was lucky enough, since I work as a busker from time to time on Hollywood Boulevard, the game's playing everywhere, and it was playing at the Hard Rock, and they even had the instead of playing, usually hear music videos coming out of the Hard Rock Cafe on Hollywood Boulevard, but during the Super Bowl, it was actually the Super Bowl. Which, whatever. Fuck the Patriots, because, am I right? And, go Rams, because I'm in LA. And that was a good solid win that the LA Rams had against the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, the New Orleans Saints have nothing to feel really good about karmic justice, about that Super Bowl loss of the Rams, right? I'm a proud Angelino, but, I feel for New Orleans. I kind of feel like, I don't know. But whatever. I pay attention to the badminton? You guys know I don't. Why do I watch the Super Bowl? I watch it for the ads. Come on. Am I right? Because I'm an actor. Sometimes the ads are funny. You hope they're funny. This wasn't funny, but it came from a comedian who has done so well going into the horror route. Oh my God. I got chills, goosebumps when they did the Twilight Zone. And Jordan Peele's the guy. Oh my God. That's so awesome. I'm like, I feel like that made me so fucking little kid on Christmas morning happy. I'm really happy for everything Jordan's able to do now. And that just makes so much fucking sense. Yes, finally. I'm so happy. That's so cool. Contrast that now with that Pepsi commercial. Yeah, I guess I'm just not that into Cardi B and Flava Flav. Yeah. My Lieutenant Frank actually, I think, ran into Flava Flav at Beecher's Madhouse during the Vegas years. And, whatevs. Okay. Yeah. And Charlie Sheen apparently was in a Planters commercial, which Tom Lennon tweeted. He pointed out, wow, there's just so many other actors that don't have shady pasts. I'm putting it mildly here. Who could have paid their insurance with that one commercial. That's a huge payday for anyone in any of those commercials. But I guess Tom deleted that tweet because, well, industry. I get it. I understand. I love you, Tom. Tom is actually very awesome. Very cool. He makes me happy to be here in Hollywood. I can't say that about Maroon 5. Yeah. About that. Because let's be honest here, okay? What is Maroon 5 and Adam, Levine? I don't know. I don't care what your name is, dude. You just seem like an asshole. You seem like a douchebag. I kind of used to sort of like you a while back, Maroon 5, but then I don't know. I guess you're just not good? Maybe? Is that it? And let's be honest, the whole reason you're even in the halftime show is because you're the best act the NFL could find who didn't care. Then the NFL blacklisted Colin Kaepernick, because he took a knee. Because he took a fucking knee. Prince would take a knee. He would not only take a knee, he'd slide on his knees, and we loved him for it. He did that all the time. Oh, I miss Prince. The Prince halftime show at the Super Bowl. I just miss Prince. Oh, and you wonder why NFL football keeps losing ratings and losing viewers. I don't know. So that cat I mentioned, he's still there outside my window somewhere. I think I caught sight of him. It looks like he's a tabby. He just meow, 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 meow. See, you can pause that or you can fast forward over that. Annoying, right? I can't do that. It's like literally right outside my fucking window. And I can only listen to music and podcasts for so long during my day while I'm doing shit. It just, oh my God. Jesus. And I feel bad because my pledge to you, my dear listener, is that this podcast is no cats, no garage, just the ABCs. And what am I doing? Cats. It's just one cat. I kind of feel like the cat's meow. I don't know. I don't know if the meow itself or the cat itself feels to me like the ghost of Marc Maron's innocence. Hey, Lieutenant Frank is still available to host the Oscars. Did you know that? Oh, yeah. I know apparently officially yesterday or 2 days ago, the Academy announced that it's official, no host. They're just going to have like this, hors d'oeuvre assortment combo platter of celebrities, doing different segments and stuff. I mean, do we really want that? Okay. Ask Rob Lowe how that worked out. Okay. Just saying. And Lieutenant Frank, if you want to pile on to the other 41 human beings that think it's a really good idea that Lieutenant Frank host the Oscars, you can pile on by going to Vegas90210.com, click Oscars, and you can sign that petition. Be the 42nd person. You can do that. Free stuff. You want some? Want free stuff that actually helps me record the podcast? Then visit MarcRomanEmpire.com and click support. Discover free stuff from companies like Coffee Bean, Farmer Boys, Uber, and Lyft. Plus, choice products and services from our sponsors. Hey, keep checking back for new stuff that we add, okay? And before you buy anything, make sure your purchases count. Take advantage of select offers that help me, the Marc Roman, record one more podcast for you to hear for free. A podcast now on Apple Podcasts. You're welcome. MarcRomanEmpire.com. Click support. Thanks, guys. And Vanka does still need our help. She was the operations manager at a mortgage brokerage I worked at back in the day, in my mortgage industry days. She's currently homeless. She suffered a stroke 2 years ago. The doctors missed. Regular listeners, you've heard all this, but for new people, we'll let you know what's going on. You can get more info. Go to MarcRomanEmpire.com, click Vanka. There have been some donations, it looks like in the last week, a few $100 or so to Vanka, but Will, she's teamed up with a guy named Will who's also homeless, and together they're Will and Grace, and they've created their own support system with each other. They really kind of depend on each other now to get through this whole being homeless thing. Vanka set up a GoFundMe for Will. Currently, Will has an entire $10 that's been raised on his GoFundMe. I think we can do better. MarcRomanEmpire.com. Click Vanka. That's got links to ways you can help Vanka, not just on her GoFundMe, and also Will's GoFundMe. Even $5. Let's try $5. All right. So I want to say thank you to Eddie Pepitone, who I've yet to meet in person, but I absolutely love and adore. I've actually messaged back and forth, and he's indicated he'd be happy to be on the podcast, but I think he records his podcast the exact same time I do mine. So we're going to have to figure that out. But it's Eddie. I don't know where he posted, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, probably Facebook. He's the one who first hit me this whole fuck Jerry thing, and which a lot of comedians rallied together to do hashtag fuck Jerry. Bottom line, what's fuck Jerry? It's this white guy, asshat, douchey bro dude who steals comedians' original content that they've created, that they've thought up, that they've tested over and over again in front of audiences, and then settled on something that works, that's funny, because that's what they do. That's their art. That's their living. That's what comedians do. And then this dick snot swipes it, erases any mention or reference of the comedian author of the funny bit, and they claim it as their own. That's the working definition of a meme, kids. So anyway, a bunch of comics decided to fuck Jerry, and it resulted in fuck Jerry losing their Comedy Central advertising contract, which was awesome. And now they're backpedaling and they're saying a bunch of stuff to try to make it sound like they've been chastened and they'll behave better, and they're just fucking douchebags. They steal funny stuff that comedians like Eddie Pepitone is a great example. Like Eddie Pepitone should have like multiple shows that he's in. He's fucking hilarious. He doesn't even have to say anything. Just being Eddie Pepitone. He's got a special called In Ruins that you got to see. He's known as the Bitter Buddha. Do yourself a favor. If you have not experienced Eddie Pepitone, experience it. Eddie Pepitone should have had a fucking Super Bowl commercial. Fuck Charlie Sheen. It should have been Eddie Pepitone there. Eddie deserves to get paid. He's doing all right, but there's a lot of bigger things in this industry that an Eddie Pepitone deserves, and he's not getting it because of people like the fuck Jerry asshat. So fuck Jerry. This is actually good. I'll talk about it another time, but there's this anonymous photographer on Instagram, and I kind of went down a little rabbit hole going back and forth with him, but he reminded me of the fuck Jerry guys, because he wants to be anonymous, and he makes it sound like he's like a Woodward and Bernstein undercover, discovering some deep dark mystery that needs to be revealed and shared with the world. And he goes up and down Hollywood Boulevard and he takes photos, and a lot of them are like creepy, sneaky. And I know this because I'm in one of them along with another fellow busker. And there's so much that could be said. And it's amazing to me how much he doesn't see as this photographer. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So I interacted with him. Big mistake. He ultimately blocked me, which is funny. When you ask questions that someone can't answer. But why did I do that? I think a stand-up comic or a live performer, we viscerally respond to criticism like that critic is a heckler. Like that's how we put critics in the heckler box. And comedians don't like hecklers because the whole definition of comedy is you're going to a comedy show. The person who's supposed to be talking at that show or performing or saying stuff is the comedian on stage, the person who's holding a microphone. If you're not holding a microphone, shut the fuck up. You're there to be audience, to listen, to enjoy. You're not there, you laugh. That's the sound that you can make. Don't start, interacting, engaging with the comedian unless he asks you a question. Let the comedian perform. Let him do his show. That's what everyone else around you came to see. They didn't come to see you be, this immature, ill-informed, untalented asshat. So don't do it. And I feel like when we see criticism, us artists, us live performers, comedians, we mistakenly see people outside of a comedy club or performance arena as those critics. We see them as hecklers. And I think I just gotta learn to not do it. I know I'm not alone in this challenge. Anyway, I guess I'm not going to talk about Marc Maron's What the Fuck is Failing YouTube documentary. Another rabbit hole I got sucked down. And I'm like, really? I think Marc Maron's doing pretty fucking awesome. You know, I think the guy's biggest point is that how do you one up interviewing President Barack Obama? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe you, as a performing artist who started a podcast in his garage out of desperation, you can now enjoy the fact that you're being nominated for awards on the Netflix show Glow. I think he even got a SAG-AFTRA award last year for it. He's doing great. Mark's doing great. And I just listened to, I wanted to ask the guy who did this fucking piece of shit documentary that I made the mistake of watching. I'm like, did you hear Marc Maron's Aaron Sorkin interview that was just like a week or two ago? Because for me, as someone who's been listening to his podcast for a decade, it's vintage Marc Maron. It's exactly, and it's great. I love it. I love the back and forth, the exchange. I learned a lot from it. It was enjoyable to hear. So, critics, fuck you. Okay, I'm sorry. Plus, you guys are the reason that, you know, we have Fuck Jerry in the world, the reason we have Ryan Seacrest, the reason we have the Kardashians. Let's be honest, all right? If you look at popular opinion, whoever is voting on that are idiots, okay? I'm sorry. Oh, all right. I gotta wrap this up here, guys. There's some new podcasts that you want to check out. Sup Doc by Paco Romain. I kind of like to have him on the podcast one of these days. I just listened to one about the Fire Festival. It's a whole nother thing. But talking about douchebags, the folks who created the festival and went to the Fire Festival. But check that out if you're looking for a new podcast. Besides this one, you can listen to more than one. I do. And crazy enough, my own union, SAG-AFTRA, apparently they have a podcast now, which I started listening to. I don't know. Got mixed feelings about that. When I listen to more of it, I'll tell more about that. I just discovered Sweet But Psycho by Ava Max. Love that song. It's like crack to me. I just keep listening to it. I love it. Sweet But Psycho by Ava Max. Check it out if you're into some groovy stuff. Like, I think you got a sense of the kind of music I like, all right? I know I did a left turn with the Sinatra today, but, you know, 80s, Depeche Mode, Morrissey, Smiths, you get it. Hey, did you know you can write me? Yeah. Tell me what your favorite music is. I don't know. Just tell me anything. Maybe you could be the first one to write me at romanpodmail@gmail.com. And as we've mentioned, you can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, but also Mixcloud, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn, also YouTube. Through all those platforms, we are Marc Roman Empire. On SoundCloud, Marc Roman Podcast. And if you go to marcromanempire.com, you'll find all the links to all those different platforms to listen to the podcast, plus rolling new grooviness. And don't forget, we got a new profile on Instagram, Marc Roman Empire. We could use more followers on that. I know I got a lot of you following me on Vegas 90210 on the Instagram. Thank you. I appreciate that. Check out the Marc Roman Empire on Instagram. It can use some love. My interview guest today is Granison Crawford. Yeah, this guy's awesome. He's a stand-up comedian you've seen perform at the Comedy Store and at Flappers. He's won a few comedy contests. Apparently, he was the funniest comedian in LA for 2017. He's also an actor and a voiceover guy. I'm actually going to be meeting him for the first time in person in this interview. It's like fresh. How did that happen? Well, I saw his post on Facebook, and I was trying to juggle some schedules to get guests on the podcast. It just kind of was perfect storm of timing. I want to give you guys more comics, and it worked out. I watched his comedy reel, and I didn't need to see much of it. It was some pretty funny shit. And then later, I saw his Diaries of a Door Guy video shorts. Those are definitely a must-see. We got several mutual friends on Facebook, including previous and future podcast guests. So I'm like, this guy's, I got to have him on the podcast. And he's from Oakland, so he's a fellow Northern California dude. I can relate. Let's meet Granison Crawford. Are we? Oh, Fuck, I did. What the fuck?
You started too soon.
Not with Marc Maron, with Marc Roman. Ollie pulled one on me, and I love you, Ollie, because I've been lambasting Ollie here. Like, why aren't we recording this? Because
wait, is Ollie the dude that produces for Drake? Do you produce for Drake? 40 Ollie? Are you him?
I like how you say that, like, you know, the two of you hang out, and you're like, yeah, I just had breakfast with him. What? That's so weird.
Which one, Drake or Ollie?
Bring up. Yes.
Touche, my friend. Touche.
Granison Crawford.
Hey.
I inadvertently, this has never happened before, but we just pulled a fucking Marc Maron, what he does on the WTF.
Yeah.
Where you scoot in 20 minutes into the interview. It's like, so you're supposed to say, so when do we start? And he's like, oh yeah, no, we've been rolling.
Yeah. We didn't do that though.
It's like a podcast Clint Eastwood move. Like, don't say action. You just got to do you don't want to disturb the flow of the talent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
But
I feel that.
we just met. We literally just met for the first time in person moments ago.
I thought you were a robot before this.
You know, there was a lot of robots in those Super Bowl commercials.
It was. They're preparing us. We're going to be watching robot football. Lame.
That's really what's going on.
Not
isn't
even
it?
leave the house. Just our stadium in the house. You got to pay to check in.
No, all these movies, you know, from what is it, Terminator,
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, the revised one, the badass one with Eddie James Olmos and Katie Sackhoff. They literally are. It's like, you know, you're gonna be the Matrix.
Yep.
You're gonna be.
Yeah. No, I'm with
you
it.
are the.
Is any of this real? Like, that's a crazy question to think about.
Right.
So, yeah. So, when are we going to start?
I know. When are we going to start the interview? Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
Good to be here.
No, so I met you on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Because it occurred to me, because our motto here, of course, is to contrast with Marc Maron's What the Fuck podcast.
Got you.
Which
Does
I love
he
and
know
adore.
that
And I've been
you're
studying and
competing?
listening for the last decade.
Yeah.
I've yet to meet him, but
But he doesn't know that you're in competition.
I'm that one guy that he
Really?
doesn't know.
He tweets about? Oh, he doesn't know. Okay,
Actually,
okay.
he will.
He will.
I've
Okay, so
actually
you're
been.
basically like
I've been
climbing
warned.
the ladder through Marc Maron vengeance.
He has a reputation.
Yes.
Like in his early podcast,
same.
he was always apologizing to his guests because there was something in their past where Mark was an asshole. But lately, it's like he's got cool shit going on, and I'm really happy for it. He's
not an asshole.
You know, he's become a better person. I feel like I don't know.
It would be an awesome twist if you were just like his little brother, like this whole time.
You need to see if I'm going to have a little brother to any comic. I feel like it's Bill Burr, which is odd because I don't relate to him in any way, but he feels naturally like my
Feels like
imaginary older brother.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but and again, I know I'm the only one.
Yeah.
In that category.
You're the only one that's like his older brother or younger brother. Yeah.
So what I was trying to say is, and I'm so grateful that you're here because you're solving a problem for me.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't have enough comics.
On
the podcast, and because it's no cats, no garage,
none,
just the ABC's actors, buskers, bands, comedians. All right, I've had 2, and this is episode 19.
Yeah,
so you're not 3. So thank you. So
I'm now a very powerful number, and also
namaste. It is 3 is a powerful number.
3 really is.
Yeah, we've had Corey Showtime Robinson.
Yes,
we've had Sammy Obeid, who's a mutual friend.
Sammy Obeid is amazing,
isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's running for president.
Yeah.
In 2036.
Good.
Yeah.
As long as he has
I know this because I have the t-shirt.
Oh, good. I really want him to. I want him to run for president and somehow slip in his...
No, he already is.
I smile when I'm
He already
nervous.
is. You don't have to be aspirational about it. Like, it's actually happening.
What do you mean?
We don't have to Tony Robbins on up. He has t-shirts. He's already running.
T-shirts don't make a campaign. That's just silly talk.
No, but they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the reason why I'm not running, because I don't have a t-shirt yet.
You don't.
My
Well,
t-shirt's
you have
blank.
one. You just don't have anything on it. I think that's the problem. You just don't have a message, man.
What would your message be?
Oh man. See, all right, we're digging deep. I like this. Not Marc Maron. Still digging deep. My message would be enjoy. We're here.
No, that is deep. I like that. Enjoy. We're still here.
Yeah.
Because it suggests a lot of shit's gone down.
Yeah. Because a lot has.
Which you're right. And also kind of, more shit might happen as well. So it's like the fragility of whatever it is we're experiencing. It's like just enjoy. It's here. Like the old Bill Hicks thing, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Bill Hicks. Because
it's just a ride.
It's just a ride, man.
It's just a ride.
I mean, we have a little more freedom, I like to think, than just a ride. Like a ride's very linear. It kind of does its thing. There's already a course plotted out. I do think we have a little bit of...
Oh, well, dude, speaking of not quite linear, I just finished watching all 3 seasons of The Man in the High Castle. And
oh, wow. I saw the first few episodes of that.
I did that too. And then a couple years went by because I had to watch all the other stuff like Peaky Blinders and whatever else, okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, wait. I got to get back to this. And I'm so glad I did because I'm no plot spoilers here. We don't do plot spoilers on this podcast.
No, that's also something they don't do.
It's insane. And it's based on a Ridley Scott novel. Ridley Scott's the guy. Not Ridley. Jesus fucking Christ. Ridley is one of the executive producers. No. Yeah. Philip K. Dick, the guy who brought us When Androids Dream of an Electric Sheep, which is what Blade Runner was based off of. Anyway.
Did Ridley Scott write a book?
I misspoke. Oh, okay, I don't believe he ever has.
Wish he would. I think a Ridley Scott book would be amazing.
I do too, but you know what? He doesn't have to. You know what I mean?
No. It would.
I'm not going to be like, I like Ridley Scott, but what? I just feel like he didn't expand into really literature if he'd done that
with his novel career,
right?
Yeah, I think he's fine.
like he should have done like Dave Barry. Dave Barry wrote books.
Come on, Ridley,
and was a jokester.
Ridley, what are we doing?
Like I went to Dave Barry.
First of all, whoever called him Ridley? You think everybody called him?
No,
they had to give him a nickname.
The awesome thing is. That's like what I was telling you before. I kind of feel like with your name, if someone first met you like I just did, it'd be like, Granison, so you go by...
It's like granite and sun. I'm like, yeah, it's very similar to what you're saying. Or they'll be like, like Granny. And you're like, yeah, I don't want that though. I don't want that anymore.
Who does?
Not a lot of people. I don't want to be associated, especially like if I'm attracted to you and you're like, can I call you Granny? I do not believe that in your mind you're equally attracted to me, because who wants to be reminded of their like grandmother?
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine if I was you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine the circumstance where I'd be thinking, I really wish that person called me Granny.
Yeah. Call me Granny. Like, I feel like maybe if I'm
when I think of it, can I get back to you on that one?
Yeah.
Because we're on Facebook. I can like message you.
You can literally contact me anytime.
We got mutual friends, not just Sammy, who is on episode 5 of this very podcast.
Oh, wow. He was the other comedian.
But we also have folks that are yet to be. I got 3 that I know of. It's a growing list. I got Andrea Pesmino.
Yes.
Kevin Monroe, who I kind of reschedule and trying to find a better time for him.
Is Ollie looking at porn? What are you doing?
What?
Who is that? You scrolling up, but the thing I'm looking at is down. Yep, he looking at porn while we listening. I'm not mad at you. Get yours.
I don't care what Ollie looks at. All I care about is what Ollie makes us hear. You know what I mean?
You know what? Sound is key.
I'm that guy.
Sound is all things.
Simone Alexander.
Yes.
She also, I'm trying to, like Kevin Monroe, there's like a rescheduling thing. I had him for one date and either, didn't work for me, didn't work for them. Yeah. Something came up. So we're trying to find new dates. Really want to have them both on. And then there's the actors. You already mentioned Liam Fountain.
Yes.
Who's also a scheduled podcast guest. He's awesome.
Been in many a Diary of a Door Guy situation.
Okay.
The ones that are less funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is a door guy. He's got a new bar in downtown that he's working at now.
Yes,
too.
He does.
He's also a door guy at Jimmy Kimmel Live, right in my neighborhood.
I got him that job.
What?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I was a guard there in the studio, and then he was looking for other work because we had worked at Mad Bull's Tavern, which was like 3 bars ago.
Okay.
It's now I think Sherman or Mr. Furley's or something. And
Mr. Furley's, like as in Three's Company.
I guess so. I didn't watch a lot of that show.
I barely watched enough of it a long time ago. I think Don Knotts played Mr. Furley.
That's funny.
I think he came in too, like he wasn't first season. It was like a couple seasons, and then
he's like third season, Mr. Furley.
I think he replaced someone or something.
Classic.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
Paul Rice is also. We'll get back to Liam because I got some questions about your bouncing career.
Okay.
But Paul Rice is also a scheduled podcast guest.
Nice.
He's a mutual friend.
Yes.
Yeah. He's also a Michael Jackson impersonator, actor,
yeah.
busker.
I always see him at Break Room. Because he's a Michael Jackson impersonator over there.
Break Room
86. It's
okay.
It's a 80s bar that I work at sometimes. I don't bounce. I'm a host and a reservationist.
I like how you can multitask here. Like a woman, because you're engaging very well in this interview, but you're also scoping out what porn Ollie may or may not be looking at.
He was on the cars, man. Unless that's his porn too. I don't know his life.
You're expanding a whole new portal of the podcast. I hadn't even imagined. Like,
car porn? It's from two cars.
What is Ollie doing?
Yeah.
It's a new segment.
It's a new segment.
See, this is why I need more comedians on this
have
podcast.
To listen to it, and then later you put it on
you vote.
Twitter.
Yeah,
and you vote. You're like, oh, the first 5 people to tell me to like message what Ollie was doing, and it's based on what a guest observes. So
but I need revenue, so you got to pay to vote. So it's like it could even be $1 a vote, right?
Sure, yeah,
right,
yeah, or it could even be something like if it was for your Patreon users. I'm sorry, man. I always think of like I like creating stuff. So
yeah, you know, I've had a few people talk to me about Patreon, and there's some people that are like, okay, it's just a bunch of models. And then I actually had a friend of mine tell me, yeah, it's a bunch of models who want to get naked. But then Bill Burr got a Patreon. So
my dude, anybody who's telling you it's just a bunch of models probably is just watching it and it doesn't have an account.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to take the word.
So we're learning about their porn surfing habits.
We're learning about their life, not really about
what Patreon's all about.
What Patreon is.
What it could be. Yeah, no, a lot of people, I think I need to explore the Patreon thing.
Heck yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with that. You can do, basically, a lot of people on Patreon, their channels, they reward people with more content, which is what they love doing anyway. So it's one of those things where, like, you know, if you have a fan or something like that, and even if you have 100 fans and they all like you enough, you're like, hey, listen, I just need to, if you want to help, donate like $2 a month, and and it'll help me make, you know, better quality stuff. It'll help me make more stuff. I can live. And then if they like you, they'll be like, $2? Psh, I'll put that on auto pay. I'm not tripping, because who thinks about $2?
Plus, they want to see the porn that Ollie was looking at while the podcast was recording.
I mean, I don't know if that's what you're
which is only
on
available to Patreon subscribers.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, behind the podcast. That's what your Patreon channel will be, behind the cast.
I love it.
Yeah, it'll be like, what is Ollie looking at?
I absolutely love
behind the cast.
See, kids, this is why comedians make the world a better place.
Yeah. I'm going to be an above the line producer. Don't worry about it.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, man, it's a cold day today.
It's a cold fucking ass day. Last few days.
Yeah.
I literally wore because I live in a building that looks like a crime scene out of a Raymond Chandler novel.
Oh, okay. A lot of blood.
And not as much as you'd think, but
how much?
Enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just enough to let you know.
I mean, it's like, I know, you know, and I know this because I used to be in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been around a lot of people that own real estate.
Yeah.
So your typical landlord, they're like, oh, I should do it? Yeah, but do I legally have to do it? Okay, I legally have to do it. Okay, when you say I legally have to replace the toilet, can we do it next year? Can we, like, what exactly?
Like ever? Yeah.
So I live in that kind of a building, and so heat's not a big deal in my place, because I live in such a tiny little place.
Heat's not a big deal.
Because literally, like, my bed is against the heater.
Oh, okay.
So I have, like, a choice. Do I want heat or do I want a bed to sleep on? Because if I move the bed far enough out, it literally has to be removed from the room. Because I live in a bachelor with another dude. It's welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah.
But I'm also walking distance from, you know, the Dolby Theater.
You live your life. Yeah. Oh, so you basically clog up the heat. So does it get cold in your place?
Last night I literally like wore a hoodie.
Oh my gosh. I wear hoodies all the time to bed.
Not
always because it's cold.
Which is weird because I normally I'm under ideal circumstances, like I'd be au natural.
Yeah.
And I was when I lived in circumstances where I could do that. But like I live with another dude, and I don't judge those who would enjoy that, but I'm like, it doesn't do it for me. So
no,
he doesn't need to see my nethers.
No, there's no necessity to show those.
Yeah, so it's kind of like there's more.
You like priorities.
Yeah, but right now I'm grateful. Like, how much more clothing can I wear under the covers? Because it's fucking cold.
It's cold. You wake up cold.
Yeah,
man.
Like you're over in a different kind of Hollywood, aren't you?
I'm in Sherman Oaks. I'm in zero kind of Hollywoods. Yeah,
I got a few friends over there.
In the valley.
Yeah, in the Oaks.
Oh, nice. Shokes.
I don't know if that's what it is.
Shokes.
I don't know enough about
or the dirty Sherms.
The dirty.
But that's just me and my roommate.
That sounds like a band.
Hey, dirty Sherms, everybody. Hey, how you doing?
Hello,
We're
Cleveland.
The dirty Sherms. Seriously, we want to know how you are.
Oh, Vinny Wolf's also another actor I
Vinny
know.
freaking Wolf.
I know.
Love that kid.
He's like the yin and yang.
He is both. And
he's
neither.
like a Kelsey Grammer if Kelsey Grammer was an actor / bouncer.
Yeah.
I say that with love, Vinny. I love you, Vinny. But
man,
he's got certain views that are
Vinny has,
he's a great guy.
Vinny has a very, very specific point of view.
Right.
But he also is just like a dude that's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like I feel like
like
Vinny started thinking the way he thought, and then he was like, and this is where I'm going to channel my energy through, like, boom. Right. You know what I mean? Like, like, this is how I'm going to move forward. And it's great, man. I mean, like, every time I see him, he shows me love.
He's a great guy.
I'm glad that he's leaning out. You seen him lately?
Yeah.
I'm like, what you doing? You doing it for the gram, Vinny?
You know what's funny is that when I hadn't been out busking on the boulevard as Lieutenant Frank in a while, so I did a while back, and it's weird how deep I get into that character because I literally, as Lieutenant Frank, forgot that as not Lieutenant Frank, I saw Vinny slim down. So as Lieutenant Frank, I'm like, wow, and Lieutenant Frank like had a huge, very dramatic, moment with Vinny going like, wow, you slimmed down, you look great. And, Vinny had done that like months, years prior. Yeah. But that's how deep I get into that character.
So you only acknowledge time the last time you did it.
I'm still kind of freaking out about that a little bit. I'm still freaking out.
That's like werewolf memory.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, dude. When you turn into a werewolf, man, you're like, man, I can't forget stuff. And then you turn back into a werewolf. I mean, you can't remember it. And then you're like, oh, I remember eating with people.
Yeah.
That was 15 months ago.
Yeah. No, that's a very apt analogy with less cannibalism, but
It's not cannibalism if it's other people.
And I guess if I'm a werewolf, it's,
it's a meal.
You got to be human to commit cannibalism, right?
That's what's for dinner.
Right.
You remember those commercials?
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah,
where they just said the name of the meat.
Yeah.
And told you that's what's for dinner, and that was the selling point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get that now.
Right. Because it's a 4-letter word.
Yeah.
That ends in K.
Beef ends with K?
Pork.
No, it was always those TV dinners were like beef.
Oh, the TV dinners.
Dinner.
I'm thinking of the meat. Oh, what's for dinner? All right.
That's what we're talking about.
Thinking of the other white meat.
Oh, pork.
Because that's my white thing. They just like it permeates. I don't even know I'm doing it, and I just did.
Oh, got you. You go, yeah.
I'm like, how can I make this whiter?
Are always talking about pork. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Well, I don't eat a lot of pork lately. I eat more chicken now.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you like it?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to get healthier because you get to be of a certain age, and it's like,
you know what's funny? People say that they want to be healthy because they've gotten older. You want to be healthy because it's healthy. You don't need time to help you out. You're like, well, it's getting bad, so I should probably do this.
Time is like not on your side. I can't do the Rolling Stones thing.
It's okay.
Time is not on your side. It's not. And when you get older, you start realizing that, and you realize, oh yeah, all the shit I should have done to enjoy a happy, healthy life when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna have any more time to do that. So if I'm gonna ever do it, I should start doing it now.
Yeah.
Now it being like 10, 20 years ago, but I can't travel back in time yet. So
what's crazy is you can never be as strong as you could have been had you started earlier.
Yeah, because I have a shittier body now. So
you literally are. You're working with weaker material. Like we
Exactly.
we ain't even. You know what I mean? Like we're not there anymore.
All right. It's like I had a main act in my 20s, and now I'm like, if I'm lucky, I got a almost middle act that I'm like trying to make.
Yeah. Like,
and
I was working with steel, man.
I see the light, and the light is the open micer. That's what I'm heading towards. I'm heading to the open micer body.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to make that be an Olympian.
Hilariously specific.
I'm trying to relate it to comedy. All right. I scooted right over the opening act. I'm like, we're going to the open micer. And then what's past open mic? I think is probably the guy that when he encountered. Do you ever get this when people first meet you and let's say you're at a party or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hey, Granison, he's a stand-up comic. He just did a set at the Comedy Store. And the guy I just met, he goes, "Oh, you're a comic? Tell me something funny."
Yeah. Yeah, every time. And I mean, I don't get mad.
So how do you handle that?
I just go, "Not right now, man." Or I'll be
I like that. That's graceful.
I'll be like, "I'm good, but I would definitely love to know more about who you are as a person. How are you?"
You flip it on them.
You just gotta. People want
to
talk about themselves,
don't they?
Ask them.
You don't have to be Dale Carnegie to know that.
Right. I figured out real quick that the reason I started kind of adopting that was I figured out from when I was dodging the Scientologists on Hollywood. I got out of dealing with them because right when they would ask me something, I would say, "High five," and then they would high five me and I'd keep walking and I would be out of pamphlet distance.
You're like, because they're thinking, well, we did a thing.
Yeah.
And by the time they figure out that that's not the thing that they're supposed to do, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And they don't walk backwards. Have you ever seen you've never seen a Scientologist walk backwards?
It's brilliant.
They're like sharks.
What's funny is they'll see me as different characters and then they'll see me as myself, like I am right now.
Yeah.
And some know, some don't. Because like when Lieutenant Frank encounters them, he'll be, because oddly enough, Tom Cruise follows me on Twitter. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So Lieutenant Frank is asking the Scientologist, when is Tom Cruise going to sit down with Lieutenant Frank for coffee? And the favorite place is the Scientology hostel.
Yeah.
It's right next to where we're recording right now because literally across the street is a Starbucks.
Oh,
so
wow.
Lieutenant Frank will like look around and go, "Where could we possibly have coffee?"
That's silly. I like it.
And yeah, that pretty much shuts them.
They're funny, man.
Shuts them down.
I was over on Franklin, I think by the Oaks, like coffee shop, something. There's a spot over there. Anyway, and I was sitting there and I looked across the street at the Scientology Center.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, and
was this during the day or at night?
It was daytime.
Okay.
You need the picture. So
no, because I've been at there at night. I have the image.
Like the sea.
What was?
And I was describing the day. I was like, it was daytime. It was blue like the sea.
I like that.
People were coming to.
Is the sea blue though, Granison? I feel like it's got other colors going on.
It's changing now. And they had Zoolander playing for like a Friday night movie night, and I thought it was so weird that they were trying to like lure people into a cult with a cult classic. Should probably write that down.
Yeah, you've done that before. That's not new. Is that new?
No, I was just thinking about this shit.
You're right here, kids. You just heard a joke be born.
Yeah, after talking about how I don't usually acknowledge people who ask me to tell them jokes.
Right? That's how it happens. You see, you got to wait for it.
Yeah.
You got to let it marinate, and then it'll just happen. We're both from Northern California, apparently.
Yeah, what part?
I'm from Auburn, outside Sacramento, and then I ended up in the East Bay. And you grew up in Oakland, right?
Yeah.
So, what was it like growing up in Oakland?
Oakland was pretty awesome, man. I grew up around every type of person, so except Armenians. There were no Armenians in Oakland, but they're in San Jose.
Yeah,
they're not in Oakland though. I don't know. So
okay.
And so, yeah, I just got exposed to a lot of different cultures and stuff, and I was adopted. So,
oh, that's right, you're adopted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was definitely adopted by a single lady. All my single ladies who's adopting babies, and
I'm starting to understand the answer now to one of my questions will be coming up here.
What
happened? Which is another way of asking any stand-up comic. Why stand-up comedy? Because there's always something, you know.
Well, I hope I didn't jump the gun.
No, you
no,
great.
No, man. I do.
We haven't gotten to Chico State yet, so it's okay.
We have not gotten to Chico State. Chico State was the best. I don't know.
That's what I heard from half of my graduating high school class.
I do not know how I made it out, but it was fun.
Nobody does. It's a party school. Because half of my from Placer High School in Auburn, half of them went to Chico. The other half went to San Diego State.
Yes.
And I was the one guy that went to the Midwest to be more conservative.
To wild out. I bet it was crazy out there. Auburn?
Auburn crazy or Midwest crazy?
You said poverty crazy? I'm sorry, my mic is being adjusted right now.
It's quite all right.
What happened though?
Well, I went to the Midwest for college.
And was it crazy?
Auburn. It was, but not for the reasons that
I don't
anyone
know
would
anything
imagine.
about Auburn. So any reason you
Auburn is in Northern California, but then I left it immediately to go to
the Midwest.
Yeah, because I'm not adopted, but I feel like that either I could be.
Sure.
And I think in the last podcast, I actually asked someone to adopt me.
Really?
Well, I asked for their parents to adopt me. I don't think I want to be adopted by Tom Cruise. I want to have coffee with Tom Cruise. And I'm comfortable with, we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I don't think.
Oh, you want him to wine and dine you?
How does coffee become wining and dining?
Can
you even buy wine?
We'll have coffee and then see where it goes.
Well, he's stalking me on Twitter. I feel like,
obviously,
all right,
yeah.
You know, wait. Let's have coffee. Let's just get it out.
Latte and a lap dance. See where it goes.
You know.
Yeah, so I'm glad. Well, I mean, I'm sorry you weren't adopted, but maybe you are. And it's just something you got to find out.
I grew up with the Dick and Marilyn show, so I'm not.
What?
I know. That's me. That's my story of my life. The Dick and Marilyn show.
I don't know what that is.
It's my parents.
My
father's,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I fucked up the joke, but it's basically, don't call my dad Richard because he's a dick.
Yeah, for sure.
He really is a dick.
Is he?
Yeah.
You guys call each other on your birthdays at least?
No, that kind of faded out a few years back.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's left?
Yeah. I spent a decade asking that question. And,
wow.
And then there was a holiday, and both of my parents shared a childhood anecdote that basically revolved around violence solving their issue. And I just had this epiphany. I'm like, this is who these people are. You're not going to change them. They don't want to change.
Yeah.
You got to make a decision because you got to be you.
Yeah. Violence is a solution to what problem?
I mean, it sounds a little dramatic, but when you kind of boil it down, that's what was going on.
They're just beating each other?
Dad, after school, beat some, kid up.
Whoa.
I don't remember why, but he, literally some local shop owner had to pull my dad off this kid.
So kind of a shameless style
yeah.
show.
And I don't even remember the justification, was there name calling, whatever. My dad grew up with an alcoholic mom, and
that'll do it to you.
Made it very clear to us that, we should be grateful that he's a teetotaling, born again Christian who loves Republicans and Jesus. And apparently I'm still supposed to, be grateful for all of that. So that's why, which I know sounds really probably weird and self-serving.
What?
I feel kinship with people who are orphans or people who grew up adopted and didn't have a connection with their blood parents, because I have blood parents that I could have a connection with, and I don't. I feel so disconnected. And the people I've met that didn't grow up, I have this weird, immediate connection to them that I can't explain.
I feel like Batman would be so weird if Bruce Wayne was just adopted and not orphaned. because orphans are different.
They are. I'm sorry. See, I conflated it.
I have all of the parents, actually. I have my originals and then my new ones.
So what happened?
But yeah, I mean, in terms of getting into comedy, man, the first person I met in LA was a comedian. And I used to go to all his shows. And I would see these comedians, and I would see lots of them a lot of times. And I was like, wow, okay. And they would not necessarily be great or tremendous. And I would be like, I can be that bad and keep getting booked. I'll try it.
It's good. It's true.
I was like, damn.
That's true.
And so then I did. I tried it for like 5 months. I had fun. I had a few shows.
Yeah.
I think I did 5 shows. I keep.
This is in the East Bay?
This is LA. I was already at.
Was it LA? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was the first person I met in LA got me into it. Because I'd hang out with all the comedians and they'd be like, hey, are you a comedian? And I'd be like, no. And they'd be
like John Hamm?
Should be. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And so then I stopped. I bombed actually Sammy Obeid's show. I bombed.
No shit.
I bombed crazy. I bombed because, well, I was new and nervous, but also I had just been sipping on the same coffee all day, listening to my voice memos so I could write down the jokes, because I record way more than I write. So like I have a bunch of memos that don't even have titles, because it's like I record a bunch of them and I go back, listen to them later, and I go, okay, I can pull something from that. And so,
gotcha.
And so what happened was I was listening to like months of jokes and trying to figure out my 6 minutes.
You were lost in a sea of
and I was spent all day doing it. I didn't eat. Like, it was time for the show.
Right.
I didn't have any time to remember it.
Right.
I remember I was talking about plastic surgeons. It was just weird. And when I got up there, I was exhausted. I was just like, and so I said something.
Strung out
people
from the
laughed,
coffee and
then I just was like trying to remember stuff, but kind of saying it. I don't even know if Sammy saw it, but I bombed. And that may have been the thing that got me to take a break.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want to do something else that wasn't paying a bunch. Like, I came out to act. I had booked a few jobs, but I wasn't like
I
rich.
relate.
Yeah. So like I was like, and so I stopped for about 6 years, 7 years.
Wow. Okay.
I stopped for 6 years. Yeah. So, and then I got back into it, and I luckily had some footage from a couple shows I had done in between, and I got booked on a show, and then I started getting referred to different shows, and so it's been good, man. Like all of the reasons that I do things are out of some sort of love or like passionate curiosity about that
right
thing. It's never because I'm like, with the exception of succeeding, like I'm like, especially if somebody doubts my ability to do something, I'm like, oh, I can't. Oh, okay. All right.
Fuck you.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It's like you and Tom Cruise and coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So for me, it's just been so much love, and the comedy community. Like, I don't know everybody, but everybody has something else, different thing to offer. And I realize, like, sometimes you never really know where in what state the person you're seeing is.
Right.
You can't even say if somebody's funny or not, because sometimes you're like, oh, they're just trying stuff they literally just thought of.
Right.
But as an untrained comedian,
you don't know what's going on.
You're just watching it and you're like, this just doesn't make me laugh. As a comedian, I'm like, oh, he's working up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
She,
Exactly.
So, and I really do like all of the up and coming like female comics that I know.
Yeah.
They're tremendously funny, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm really happy to see that, because I've heard some pretty grisly stories.
Yeah.
I think I know you know what I'm talking about. So it's good to see
I think I know.
more representation. Just there's
well, even not even
I don't want to get too specific, because the comedian I'm thinking of, like, she kind of like wanted to focus on her comedy as opposed to this, this shitty thing that happened to her.
Probably, yeah.
And then, it's like, I think part of her listening is like respecting that. So
yeah.
But I know she's not the only one that's experienced something like that. It just to put it simply,
this is quite the riddle, my friend.
Guys being really misogynistic and shitty to a woman and saying shit and stuff. That goes beyond just simply calling it harassment.
There's a lot of real broy mics. Like you just be there and you're like, my dude, is that a new perspective on your dick? Yeah. Can we get one? You know what I mean? Like, and I can't say anything. Like, I definitely think that everybody has what they think, different types of tastes for comedy. So I can't say what is good or bad, but I'm just like, come on, man. Like, I know I've had times where, like, I ran a mic, and I remember one time somebody was like, it was the last lady had left the room, and he went up and he's like, any ladies in the room? And they looked around. It was obviously no ladies in the room. It was big enough to see to the back. You know what I mean? There's no mysterious pocket rooms in this place. And
it's a rhetorical question.
And he goes, good, because now we can talk for real. Because I mean, these females ain't even funny. They over here just trying to suck dick to get on shows. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
And I'm the host, so I had to say something. I was like, man, you gonna say that when the last one's out? He's like, I'll say it to her face. I'm like, weird brag, bro.
Yeah, right?
Weird brag. So it's just like, I don't know.
And it feels weird that you're in this position suddenly as the guy who organized the show.
Yeah.
Where instead of like figuring out how do I get the funniest people I know,
Well, that was a mic.
On his show. But still.
Never,
It's like that you have to deal with the energy of like this guy being an asshat, and you have to call him out and say, stop being an asshole, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And if you keep being an asshole now, then I'm going to have to fucking do something and remove you from the equation because, like, nobody's here to enjoy anyone being an asshole. That's not what this is about. It's about comedy,
It sounded like you were going to get him murdered or something. I'm going to have to remove you from the equation because those jokes don't fly.
We're going to call in Liam and Vinny, and they'll come up and they'll, with their suits, with their hands clasped like this, sir, we're going to need you to...
That dog don't hunt, sir. That dog don't hunt. Just like, oh man, I'm scared and I don't know why.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, man.
I fucking love it.
That's why I got into it. And the reason when I came back, I was so passionate about it was because I'm not necessarily any type of religion, but like sometimes when I need a little hand, I just go to whom it may concern. And
I can respect that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whoever it might be, hey, I'm talking to you.
Right. Yeah.
And was like, I need to get back on the stage and I need to stop working nightlife because I was working as a bouncer and I was getting a bunch of material from it, but at the same time I was losing my life.
Speaking of which, this is the second reason why I wanted to book you, and I actually saw it after I already made the decision because just looking at a couple minutes of your comedy reel, you're fucking funny as shit. I'm like, holy shit, this is the guy I need to have on.
Thank you, man.
So I think you're fucking insanely funny. But what the fuck is it called here? I had it down here. Hello. Diaries of a Door Guy.
Yeah.
Guys, if you have, there's like 6 of them. They're like a couple minutes each. I watched them from beginning to end, 15 minutes tops. Fucking hilarious as shit. And if you want to see, and this is on your YouTube channel, Granavision.
Yes.
Which I love.
Yes. Thank you, man.
It's not YouTube, it's Granavision.
Yeah.
I love it. I fucking love it. No, that's some fucking hilarious shit. Diaries of Dora. And that should be a show, man.
Dude, I'm so down. I am so down for having that be a show. I don't even mind if it stays short form.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The opera. Just right now, we're just talking about how, right? Because you actually met up with Ollie before I got here to the studio. So you guys are sitting there like having a cigarette. You already got your name tag to get into the building.
Yeah.
And this very bro type dude who's mildly methed out.
I don't know what he was on. He was on all of it though.
I feel like he just came from the Patriots victory parade in Boston.
Yes, he walked here.
Like, and he was asking / demanding a cigarette.
Yeah, and then they didn't have a lighter. So so his lady goes, "Do you have a lighter?" And I was like, "I have a lighter." And at first I said, "I'm not going to give it to you." But because I didn't mean it like that. I mean, I'd light it for you, but I'm not going to give it to you. You both seem very sketchy as humans. I don't imagine.
But wait, there's more.
So then she goes, okay, I have this nug. And she pulls out like a spider wrapped
it was covered in cellophane
with weed in it, which is hella old school. It's like, there's so many dispensaries. We don't need to do this anymore. What are you doing?
Like you don't from 1975.
So I have my lighter out. She's holding up a nug of weeds wrapped in cellophane, and I'm like,
and she's looking at you, waiting for you to do something.
She's looking at it like she doesn't know what to do, and I'm like, you need more than a lighter, love. You need everything right now. You need papers. You need a plan. Come on, sweetie.
You need better life choices.
You need to reverse some of this time and get it back.
Yeah, it was amazing because that was literally the moment that I met you.
Yeah.
Earlier tonight.
Yeah.
For the first time, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, where's the hidden camera? Because
right?
I feel like I'm in. You're filming an episode of Diaries of a Door Guy right now, but as fate would have it, no, it was just just another Wednesday in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's every day because I think I have more curiosity than caution most of the time. So like if somebody if there's some interesting experience I can have, I'm at least interested in questioning it. And then being, if somebody's crazy, I'm not going to just immediately be like, get the hell away from me. I'm going to be like, what are you talking about? And they're going to be like, I'm saying balls don't have to be round. And you'll be like, all right, man, that's cool. I believe in you. Take it easy. You never know.
See, you get their mini bio write-up. You get some details before you go. I should probably.
Oh, okay, you lying, or you know what I mean, or yeah.
There's fight, there's flight, but you have curiosity. It's like
there's curiosity.
I have questions.
Right? Because you offset them. I remember
it diffuses the situation, which I imagine you learn as a bouncer or people in law enforcement as well. Similar thing, which is like. Ultimately, you can get into a fist fight or use whatever weapons you have, but ideally, ultimately, you're trying to diffuse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you probably know a million ways to do that. It's like secondhand now, so.
Yeah. I mean, you can kill them with kindness. I've shamed drunk people out of a bar. I've been like, listen, man, you keep doing this.
That's hilarious.
Your friends you're embarrassing your friends. And then or I'll threaten to remove a friendship that I never had with them. Like I'll be like, listen, man, if you keep acting like this, we can't be friends.
Right.
And then they're like, no, dude, it's not like that. And you're like, it is though. It is. And so I don't know. There's some weird drunk logic that they revert to their childlike state, which is why, I cast kids in the series.
That's the other brilliant thing. Oh my God. Which is the second I saw it, I'm like, it's these two little girls. And I'm like, oh my God. This just went from being really funny to like,
it's funny.
Shot straight up to the sky, the curve.
I have never told anybody this, but my mom, my adopted mom, Ruthann, did not. Ruthann, you.
And I'm sorry I said that you're an orphan. I conflated.
It's okay. I mean, orphans have it rough.
It's not my experience.
Mad. Yeah. And so, and I remember I asked her what she thought. I said, what'd you think? In the first episodes of two little girls. And she goes, yeah. And I was like, what? And she's like, I just feel kind of uncomfortable with this, the little girls. And I was like, Mom, you realize you're making it weird? It's just girls that are acting like the drunk people that they were.
Right.
The real, it felt like you were making them seem dumb. And I was like, 100%, Mom. But that's what drunk people do. You're not watching it for the healthy relationships that I build with these people coming in.
You should ask her if she gets upset when Eddie Pepitone, shows up in the audience on a Conan show as like the angry heckler guy, which is Eddie's brilliant mojo. Like, who's feeling sorry for Eddie Pepitone in that moment? You know what I mean?
She just she just thought she didn't I was like, Mom, did you read the intro? Because the intro says these are reenactments, except for me.
Oh, she thought they were like little kids.
She just thought it was weird that little kids were trying to get in a bar. She was so concerned about underage drinking.
Your adopted mom would get along well with my mom.
Yeah. My mom's great.
Because my mom got really, this kind of reminds me of, I remember a time, the Michael Jackson video. This is like late 80s. I forget the song, but it's black and white, I think. But it's where, the faces change.
Yeah.
That really freaked my mom fucking out. She like really like didn't.
Really?
Oh yeah, like honest, kind of like, she felt like someone just came and told her with very, convincing proof that Jesus Christ is not the Son of God and not her Lord and Savior, and her specific translation and type of,
she lost
Protestant. They had that feel like she was like really shaken to the core by that video because the faces changed. Yes, CG. Yeah, no, really, seriously. But of course,
wow,
this is the same mother who taught me to read, but then said, let's read, the Chronicles of Narnia together as a great reading experience. But Lord of the Rings, no, can't do Lord of the Rings. Why? Because in college, people who read Lord of the Rings that I knew believed there was actually people living in the middle of the earth. So we can't have you reading Lord of the Rings.
You were talking to people who are high. Your mom needs to understand.
Well,
college. You shouldn't trust anything people in college. I'm joking. No, there's a lot of smart
my
people
mother. Why do I not have a relationship with my parents? This is why. Why do I feel like I'm adopted? Why do I relate to people who are adopted?
Sure, yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't understand you people.
Yeah.
This is what I say to my parents. That's why I call them the Dick and Marilyn Show.
I don't understand you.
So you were adopted.
Yeah.
Can we go into that at all, or is that?
No, it'd be weird to all of a sudden be shut down if I brought it up. It'd be like, yeah, and I was adopted. Don't.
I know, but we curved into your comedy.
Do not talk about it. No, I'm fine.
I'm like legitimately curious.
No, it's cool. It was cool, man. I had a great life, dude. I grew up with one of my full-blown sisters.
Okay.
We both had the same mom and dad. And then our older brothers, like one of them, my second oldest brother, Paul, went with his birth dad. And then Dwayne went to like group homes and stuff. And then Cindy was born after we got taken away from the house because my parents were drug addicts.
Oh, okay.
And so my birth parents were. And I actually just sat down with my mom and ate some food recently because she was stopping by on Greyhound in L.A. And we went and ate. And she's been through a lot. She was like molested at 5.
Wow.
She was a prostitute at 8.
Wow.
I didn't even know that. Meanwhile, she has no understanding of why her social worker is mad about her texting in all caps. Because, I mean, if you think about it,
wow.
that would seem trivial if you've been through prison. Like, capital letters are your trigger. Silly.
Maybe it's easier to pick that than deal with all the other stuff.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, that was good. Yeah. Yeah, so, and then
I would have never imagined that.
Yeah, it would have been a weird thing to imagine.
No, that you grew up like that.
Yeah. Well, I was out of it so fast because I got put in, me and Ashanti, my sister, she lives in West Hollywood, got put into a foster home with a husband and wife, Filipino husband and wife. And then they had a kid, Melanie. And so we grew up from, I was 2, Ashanti was 1, until I was almost 6, she was almost 5. We were with them. And so we kind of like, we were family. Like we had hella cousins because it was Stockton. So that's like the capital of the Philippines. And so it was cool. And then Ruth Ann, I guess, I didn't know this, but like I forgot the transition of it.
Yeah.
But before we were adopted, we spent a year there as like a trial period.
Yeah.
It was like the longest free sample. And I have never ever thought of it that way, and I'm gonna have to listen to this.
You got to use that.
This is great.
I love that.
This is great.
I love that.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? You're at Panda Express. You just eat for a year.
Right.
That'd be crazy. But
you're on Hollywood Boulevard in front of the pretzel place.
Oh my gosh.
They hand you one on the toothpick. You eat it. But then they hand you another one.
Yeah, every time.
12 months later, you're still there.
You're still there. Like, I think I'll take it. I think I'll have a dog.
Oh, my God. I love this.
Man. It's been a joyous life, though.
Did you find that growing up adopted that you, I don't know, how do I put this? Like maybe early on in life, you made some decisions or kind of fortified yourself and realized, all right, I can't be dependent on people outside of me. I got to kind of figure stuff out on my own, kind of
it's
independence
crazy.
and sort of thing.
Yes. When I was little,
Okay.
I was not a highly capable kid. I didn't know how to tie my shoes for a long time. Like, I just always was under the idea that I couldn't do stuff. Like, I was always just like, if I needed to do something and I'd never done it before, even if someone showed me, I'd be like, I can't.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if being adopted made me like change that, but I definitely was independent, and I'm not as emotionally like I'm not as like, I think of things through reason most of the time, right? And if I do feel emotionally about it, I will scan that emotion and go, okay, what does that mean, and how does that change things? And you're like, all right, it doesn't too much, but I should probably speak because I don't want that to grow into something, So it's like reason, emotional reasoning, I guess. And so like,
which is a valuable tool to have as a human being, just to like function and get through life.
Yeah, I mean,
so to have that earlier.
Yeah, so
I'm jealous because I had this, great family that's still together.
Yeah,
and they would keep telling me how great it was.
Yeah,
but I had this weird. I lived in a weird fantasy world because I was like, as far as I could tell, all my needs are taken care of. I didn't have a need to think independently or think in a survival term and think, all right, what's really going on here in reality?
Yeah.
What do I need to do? Food, clothing, shelter. Like that. It took a long time for me to ever get to that and then actually organize it. So
I've been me since I was like 5.
Crazy.
I had way more energy then, but like at the same time, like I've always
Chris Rock did that though, right?
Myself.
I'm just thinking you have a show with the 5-year-old self there. And it's
yeah. You can do whatever you want. Just don't call it Everybody Hates Chris.
But he's in D.C., you're in the other side. You got to represent West Coast,
Everybody hates Chris in Oakland.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody hates Granison.
Everybody hates Granison.
It's
that
Granison.
Sounds good. Everybody hates / loves Granison. So that way it's like everybody loves Raymond or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just imagine this 5-year-old kid who just like takes, he takes all these long pauses. He's just so well poised.
I was a goofy kid, but I would be goofy with other kids. With adults, I would sit and I would like absorb what they were doing. Like I'd be like, "What are they talking about? What does that mean?" Oh, well, that seems to mean
curiosity.
This. Yeah, and I would figure out like what words meant in context. That way, I could be like, "This is what adults are interested in. Cool. I wonder why." And like, so I would.
Did you want to be an adult?
No.
Okay.
I never wanted to be anything past the age I was. Like, so people would be like, I wish I was 16 so I could drive. And I'd be like, I don't. Be like, I'm cool with 11.
So you're cool with where you were at, but you were curious about.
But I always just wanted
these
to
different people, these adults.
I'm always curious how things work. So when I get to talk to people, I like to like ask questions and like find out like, where are you from? What are some things you like? Blah, blah, blah. Not so that I'm like judging, but just because I'm like, oh, cool. Now I know. Me too. Or,
starting point.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know anything about that. Now your turn. Please tell me, let me learn something. Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's fun to me.
Dude, we could talk for like another 5 hours.
Sure.
We just met, so.
Yeah. I got a going away party to go to, so I can't, but.
Oh, we got to wrap this thing up. You got some acting credits on IMDb. We'll have a link to show people.
Oh, man. I don't even know if mine's current, and I have 2 different ones.
What?
Yeah, because one person, a couple people put my name down wrong. So I had 2 additional accounts.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Right on.
I mean, I haven't lost sleep over it.
I'm going to have to bring you back. And I think I also, one of these days I'll do a panel show like what Marc Maron does. So I definitely want to have you on one of those panel shows.
All right, yeah.
Because I feel like there's a bunch I haven't even gotten into yet.
So much.
I've
been living for 35 years. If we had gotten into most of it, hollow shell, I would
So what's next? What should people see? I know you just did ran a show, right? In Sherman Oaks last night?
I produced a monthly show in Sherman Oaks.
Okay.
The League of Comedy All-Star Show. It's amazing comedian lineups, different every time, except I'm there. So if you don't really like me, you can stay home. But no, it's a great show. And then we close out with music. Last night we had the Femity Trio. Femity, like Remedy. And they're amazing and hilarious. We had Drew Lynch, who was...
I know Drew.
Yeah, Drew Lynch was great.
From back in the Bay Area days, yeah.
We had so many people.
I haven't seen him forever.
My fellow Laugh After Dark Season 2 friend hosted, Kayla Crawford, I'm going to be on Amazon Prime in March.
Nice.
For my first TV comedy credit.
Nice. Congratulations. Yeah. That's awesome, brother.
Whoop, whoop. You can't see it, but I'm raising my hands.
You're definitely raising your hands.
I was.
That's
just
fantastic.
Remember, what is Ollie looking at?
It's a new segment, kids.
That's it.
Got to thank Granison Crawford for that.
Oh, thank you.
It's been awesome, brother. Thanks for having you on.
It's been so dope. Are we going to shake hands?
And I don't know why.
We're doing it super slow.
We're kind of.
You guys can't even.
Yeah. Oh, we did that.
You could feel in the audio where we reached hands.
With tension. I need to get back into comedy. I'm really encouraged because I see a lot of parallels between us.
Yeah.
With comedy, because like I started comedy, and then I got sucked into acting, and I was like, okay, I gotta get paid for doing whatever the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, but I really want to get back. Mm-hmm. So, and I recognize I know enough about the comedy scene to respect and appreciate. I'm like, okay, I know, like I don't even have 2 minutes, but I don't want to do fucking open mics. So it's like
you got to do something.
I got to figure that out. So it's nice to.
If you don't know anybody with a show and you don't have more than 2 minutes, then you got open mics.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you got. I mean, unless you can whip up something. Like if you.
Which that's what I need to do. I need to whip up. I need to write like 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
But then you need somewhere to perform.
No, but see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I went to busking. Now I got the podcast. Anyway.
You're moving.
And now I know Granison Crawford.
Whoop.
I'm feeling pretty happy. All right, brother.
This has been dope.
I feel like we barely did enough, but
just
it's a starting point.
Just one conversation.
We just met.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Cool, brother. Granison Crawford. See, this guy, this is the reason why I love stand-up comedy and acting. It just, to be able to work with a guy like this guy's awesome. He's hilarious. I just met him. You guys just met him too. We both met him at the same time for the first time. Oh my God. I feel like we barely even scratched the surface of the beginning. Looking forward to having him back. Looking forward to getting to know him better. Check him out. He's got that live comedy show. It sounds like on Wednesdays out in the valley in the Sherman Oaks, Shokes, whatever it's called. I don't know. I know people who live out there. And then we got links, of course, for all of his groovy stuff, his Granavision and his Grana something, his Instagram. We got links for it. Plus, whatever groovy stuff what we mentioned on the show, you'll find all of that at MarcRomanEmpire.com. Hey, thanks to all our listeners across the globe. I see you, Powder Springs, Georgia. And I think we were in the same Boy Scout troop back in a land far, far away a long time ago. Let's not forget North Hollywood, I see you, Los Angeles, and Burbank. You truly suffer well, Burbank. And that is why I don't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't. Vanka and Will, a.k.a. Will and Grace, need our help. They are homeless, but you can hero tier. Go to MarcRomanEmpire.com, click Vanka to learn more and to help. You can listen to the podcast now on Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes. It helps the podcast grow. Of course, we are also on Mixcloud, Podbean, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, and the YouTube. MarcRomanEmpire.com. Click listen for all your options there. And avoid missing out on cool stuff, join my mailing list, the Marc Roman Empire Census. Sometimes we have special deals and perks for podcast citizens. Become a citizen. Go to MarcRomanEmpire.com, click Census. Twitter at The Marc Roman. Instagram at Marc Roman Empire for the podcast. At Vegas 90210 for Lieutenant Frank and all those other characters. Email your questions to me at romanpodmail@gmail.com, and I might answer them on the podcast. So how we doing here? I'll tell you how I'm doing. Doing pretty good. It's like I'm trying to kind of tweak the system here. It's cool that we finally got on the Apple Podcasts. We're on the iTunes. We got a review already and a rating. Some kind of cool stuff. I'm going to get you guys more comics, okay? It's ridiculous. Next week's going to be episode 20. And we've only had 3 comics. So I know, I get it. No cats, no garage, just the ABCs, actors, bands, buskers, comedians. I'm going to get you some more comedians, all right? I've been out of the game. I'm not like out performing all the time. So it's like I got to connect with people I used to know, and then we'll figure it out. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you listening. If you like listening to this, share it with a friend. Share it with someone who maybe is not a friend. I don't know, whoever you know that likes podcasts and says, hey, I want to listen to new podcasts. Tell them about Marc Roman Empire, because it's also a podcast. Until next week, how can you hero tier? For Vanka and Will, a.k.a. Will and Grace, remember Clownolin and Prince St. Paul. I am the Marc Roman.